Very good morning, everyone. Very good morning, and welcome to today's Unit 3 class. Okay. I think this is our final class before your exams next week. Okay. Isn't it? You all got the timetables? Well, I've got the timetables and all that. Superb. So, everybody, topic 12, topic 13, topic 14. These three are there. And then when you all come back in December, we might start topic 15, but I don't think we'll be able to complete it. It's quite a big chapter. Okay. Right. Guys, girls, all of you all. What we're going to do right now is there are so many past paper questions remaining again today. I don't think we'll be able to complete all of them. We'll try and do a few selected ones, okay, especially the essay type ones. I want to practice with you all. Okay, so guys, girls, everybody, can we all open up topic 14, part 3? These are the questions I want to do with you all today. Question number 4 first. Topic 14, part 3, question number 4. So I have it over here on my screen. So topic 14, part 3, question number 4. Okay. If you all don't have it, please do note it in your writing book and collect it for me later on. Okay, so over here it talks about, let's zoom out a little bit. And let's come over here. Question number 4. Can you guys read this? As a part of the expansion, the business has commissioned new control software for its 4 cheese making facilities. Okay, they have 4 different cheese making facilities. Okay, the new software was installed overnight on August 10th at all 4 locations. So the new software, the new system was installed overnight, which means which changeover method are they using? They're using direct changeover, right? The next day, everybody uses the new system. During the morning of August 11th, all of the milking and processing machines exhibited unrecoverable errors. Isn't this one of the biggest disadvantages of direct changeover? Nobody is experienced in this new system. Okay, you haven't properly tested it also yet. Okay, this is the first time you are using it in real life now. So as expected, the next day, unrecoverable errors have taken place. The entire day's milk and cheese production at all 4 locations were ruined. Okay, discuss the appropriateness of alternative software changeover methods for the cheese business. Everybody, they're giving you 6 marks. We have how many alternative methods do we have? We have a total of 4, right? What were the 4? Direct was 1. What are the other alternative methods? What are the other changeover methods you all know of? Parallel, louder, pilot, phased. Okay, now direct is already spoken about. It was a mess. Didn't work out. Now talk about the other 3 and say how suitable it would be. Discuss the appropriateness. So talk about the other 3 and tell me how appropriate they would be. Okay, so guys, girls, why don't you all tell me, and why don't we first note it down and then we'll write our first final answer. So what do you all think, everybody? What do you all think over here? So let's have a look at, shall I go with phased? What do you think about phased? Appropriate, not appropriate? How does phased work? One department will be using the new system. Okay, one department will be using the new system. So what does the company do? What does the system do? Milking and cheese, right? Makes milk and cheese, correct? Where does it do? Milking and processing machines. Okay, the entire days of milk and cheese production at all 4 locations was ruined. Now think about it, guys. Phased means what? You're applying the new system to one particular department only. Okay, so what do you think? Is your risk minimized? Or this is also high risk? You all need to talk to me. What do you all think? So I'll first mention phased means what? Only one department will use it. Only one department will use it. Okay. Then what shall I say next? Only one department will use it. Next, what shall I say? Would you recommend it? Would you not recommend it? If there is a failure, only one department is going to fail, right? Okay. Okay. Risk is minimized, risk minimized, risk minimized, minimized to one department. Any issues you can think of? Everybody, we're doing a mind map. 6-marker question, no need to do such a big mind map, but any risks you can think of? We have it faced is what? Can there be incompatibility? Because only one department is using the new system. The other departments are using the old system. Sometimes there could be incompatibility issues, right? The way the new system is producing cheese or producing a particular ingredient might not work with the other departments, isn't it? So we'll talk about this. Compatibility issues can arise. Compatibility issues may arise. I'll just put compatibility issues. Then what's the next method we have? Parallel. What do you think about parallel? How does parallel work? Old system and new system are used together. For making milk and cheese, can you have two systems here? Your production cost is going to be double now. It's going to be for software, okay. But for making something, for making a raw product, Ikram, are you with me? Okay, you can say this is, so we'll first talk about parallel. Both systems work together. Both systems are used. And I'll just say not applicable for given scenario. Not applicable. Not applicable for given scenario. All right, what's the third one you all know of? Pilot. So how does pilot work? One, what do they call it? In the question paper, what do they call it? Facility. One location, we'll say one location. One location. So we'll say one location, we'll use the new system. One location uses new system. Okay. Risk minimized to one location. And then guys, will every other location get a better version of the new system? That's something really good, right? Every other location is going to get a better version of the new system, isn't it? Risk minimized to one location. And then you can go on to say every other location gets a better version. Gets better version. So clearly, which one do you think seems to be the best for them? Clearly, it seems like pilot is the best. I don't see you guys taking down your notes, no. Everybody, we do a mind map. If you directly start writing the answer, your answer is not going to be organized. There's a small problem in your tute, guys. I have given you all the marking scheme, but the way the marks are given, that part I have given the wrong one to you all. You understand? In your marking scheme side, if you look, the marking scheme is okay. How are the marks given? How does the student achieve 1 to 2 marks, 3 to 5 marks, 3 to 4 marks, 5 to 6 marks? That part I have given the wrong one to you all. So you all can just cut that. Okay? You know what I'm talking about? The marking scheme is given. However, how are the marks given? That part I have given you all the wrong one. So you all need to just cut it out. Okay, we'll start writing our answer then. Okay, so these are the points we came up with. And now we can construct it properly because we have thoroughly thought about it. Okay. So clearly parallel is a bad idea. Phased, okay, but there is a major compatibility issue. And very clearly we can see, you know what, pilot seems to be the way forward for you guys. Both systems are used. Sorry, my bad. Both systems are used. I mean, the old and new run together, and then slowly the new system will take over. Okay? Right, everybody. It's already nearly 15 minutes have already gone. That's a lot. Okay? This is our mind map. We just jot this down, scribble it down. These are our draft. Now let's start writing. Look at your mind map and start writing. Everybody, 6-marker question. So what shall we start with? Now that you have your notes in front of you, you can choose. Shall we end with the most appropriate one? We'll end with the most appropriate one. And we'll start with the least appropriate one, which would be parallel, right? We'll start with the least appropriate one, which is parallel. Discuss the appropriateness of alternative software changeover methods. Okay. Let's list the remaining three. Okay. How shall we word it? Okay. What is this company, guys? The main part of the question I have not given you all. Can you all see? The main scenario I haven't given all. This is part B. The main question scenario I haven't given out, so we don't know what the company is. Okay, so we'll mention there are three other software changeover methods that the company can choose from. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the least appropriate one now. Let's start with this. In parallel changeover, let's first explain what happens. In parallel changeover, both the old system and new system will run parallelly, and slowly and gradually. Let's say gradually. Parallelly. What's the spelling here? Will run parallelly and gradually the new system will fully take over operations. Okay. However, this changeover method is not appropriate for the given scenario, since this business produces a raw product and parallel changeover would mean double the production cost. And double, what's the other word? Double production cost plus double, what do you call? You're producing double the material. Okay, would mean double the production cost and double material usage. Okay, or I'll just say and double production of I want to say the things that they produce, double the amount of cheese, double the amount of milk. What's a good word I can use for that? Stock is what you keep, no? Production, we can say, no? And parallel changeover would mean double the production cost and production. Would mean double production and production cost. Would mean double production and production cost. Okay, I hope my wording is all right here. You all understand, right? But if you understand, it doesn't matter. The examiner needs to understand. Okay, but I'm trying to think of a good word I can say. Your cost is also double, plus what you're producing is also going to be double. Double the output is also a good word. Output is also going to be double. And parallel changer would mean double the output and production. That sounds better. Would mean double the output and production cost. Okay. Okay, so we have already said, you know what, this is a terrible method. Parallel changeover is not going to work for you guys. Next, we can talk about phased. Okay, somewhat appropriate, but there are issues that they'll have to deal with. Next, in phased changeover, the new system will only be applied to one particular department of this business. Okay. Next, in phase changeover, the new system will only be applied to one particular department of this business. Okay. Based on its performance, it will be gradually implemented across other departments as well. This method significantly reduces the risk of the whole business failing, of the whole business coming to a halt if the new system fails. Okay. This method significantly reduces the risk of the whole business coming to a halt, or the whole production coming to a halt, we'll say. This reduces the risk of the whole production coming to a halt if the new system fails. However, any examples you can give me to explain compatibility? Then you really are giving evidence to the examiner that you know what you're talking about, right? Rather than just saying compatibility issues, if you can produce an example. I'm also thinking cheese and milk in that production. What can we say? The production of the way an ingredient for producing cheese is made in the new system may not be compatible. Is normally used with software. We don't use it for milk and cheese, for cooking products. But doesn't matter. We'll say may not be compatible with the way another ingredient is produced in the. Sorry? Yeah. So the production process different ways, cheese has a higher shelf life than milk. Okay, so what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is the way the new system does something may not work with the old system. Say, for example, the old system is say, for example, we are doing the packaging in the new system. The packaging of cheese is done in the new system. But the size being produced by the old system does not fit into the packaging of the new system. Does this sound okay? We'll go into packaging. Okay. I need some example because you can't just say incompatible. Better give an example and convince the examiner we know what we're talking about. Okay. However, since two different systems are being used, incompatible or compatibility issues can easily arise. For example, the new system might initially deal with packaging of cheese, but it may not be able to package the cheese the way the old system is producing it. Okay, we just give an example over here. The old system is responsible for producing the cheese, producing the final product, and the new system is responsible for packaging it, for example. Okay, so we can have compatibility issues where the old system, the way it produces, doesn't fit into the packaging of the new system. Finally, we do have pilot changeover, which seems to be the most appropriate. Okay. Finally, the phase changeover method seems to be the most appropriate since. Ikram, what's wrong? You took this down. Okay. Finally, finally, what was it? Pilot changeover. Finally, pilot changeover method seems to be the best suited, or the most seems to be the most appropriate changeover method for this business, since in pilot changeover, the new system will be fully applied across one, let's put that in capital words, across one location only, and based on its performance, it will be gradually implemented across other locations. We have run out of space. I'm sure you guys already ran out of space. Okay, if you could just note it down somewhere else, or can always ask for paper. Okay. And based on this, it will be gradually implemented across other locations. Okay. The risk is minimized since only one location will be affected if the new system fails, and every other location gets a better version of the new system. Okay. So we feel that pilot changeover seems to be the most appropriate method. Okay. You got your exam timetable, Vidun? Exam timetable, you got it? When is IT happening? 25th, everything is starting? 24th? Check and tell me. Sorry? Wednesday it's happening. It's a Wednesday. That's a bit of a problem now. Theory only, right? Here, can you all sort this out now itself? Each person is saying a different answer. Check and tell me now. A2 is happening. A2 IT. No. 26th. Adam, you said 24th. It says 26th. 26th or 24th? 26th. 26th is a Wednesday. Okay. Both are happening on the 26th. All okay there? Right. Then boys, girls. Okay. Everybody, the paper is only 1 hour. Theory paper is only 1 hour. It's going to be a bit challenging for y'all to finish that paper in 1 hour. Okay. So get started and get moving quite fast. Okay. You all should be able to complete it in 1 hour, but you'll have to work quite fast with it. Okay, because I put quite a lot of questions and I timed it for myself. I felt like 55 minutes is enough to do it, but I don't know how it will be for you guys. Okay, because this is the first theory exam you all are doing, right? Okay, so I would say it's going to be challenging to complete that paper in 1 hour. The unit 4 paper is an entire past paper. I just picked one random paper and I sent it for printing. Okay, so everybody, how are you going to be preparing for your exam? Try and do as many past paper questions as you can. I have literally given every single thing to you all. I have given it to you all chapter wise along with the marking scheme, and I have given it to you all topic wise as well. Okay, topic 12 part 1 relevant past paper questions in the tute itself, it's there. Topic 12 part 2 relevant past paper questions in the tute itself, it's there. So practicing is going to be very easy for you all. Attempt it, look at the marking scheme, see what the examiner said, see what you said, and see if the examiner has said anything that you never thought about. Okay, and try to understand every single answer that the examiner has given you all. Okay, don't just, okay, my answer is there, I'm going to ignore the other answers. No, try to understand every single answer the examiner has given. Use whatever resources you all have to understand what the examiner has said. Okay, use the internet, use search engines, use AI, use whatever you can to understand the marking schemes. Okay, worst case, get back to me and I'll explain it to you all. Okay, and guys, I told this to you all at the beginning itself. Focus on, who remembers at least now? AS also, I've been telling you all this. Now, A2 again, I'm repeating it. Focus on the result or focus on the process? Focus on the process. Okay, the result is not in your control, guys. What type of a paper I'm going to give you all, not in your control. How your mood will be on that day, not in your control. How cold the classroom will be, not in your control. How will your health be on that day, not in your control. Okay, who you will be sitting next to, not in your, I mean, so many things not in your control. But the process of preparing for that exam, entirely in your control. How many questions you attempt, how many answers you check. Okay, how many questions do you ask me, how many times you revise, how many times you practice, you go through your notes. Okay, when do you prepare? All this is entirely in your control. Okay, the time you go to bed, the time you get up, the time you come to class, all this is in your control. Focus on these things that you can control and the result will take care of itself. Okay, everybody, please focus on the process. Okay, and you guys are A2 students. You all have O-level experience, you all have AS level experience, you all are the most experienced students from our full-time batch. Okay, so I don't think I need to be behind you all, nagging you all, asking you all, is this done, is that done? You all are mature enough to understand what needs to be done. Okay, so focus on the process. Okay, and the result will take care of itself. Okay, right, everybody, with that then I'm done with topic 14. I don't think I have anything else in topic 14 to answer for you all. Yeah, topic 14 part 2, topic 14 part 3 is completely done now. I'm going to close it and say done. Okay, by the way, everybody over here, access is working. Ikram, you sorted it out, no? Everybody, it's working, right? Because you all will need it for the exam. Only access you all will need. Okay. All right, let's move away from here then. Everybody, topic 14 part 2. Topic 14 part 2, question number 8 and 9. Topic 14 part 2, question number 8. Oh, wait. We didn't read the marking scheme, no. Topic 14 part 3, question 4's marking scheme. Can you all read? I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it on. I don't have it. I have it. I have it. Read it, please. Everybody, this is a marking scheme. I told you all to cut this part. Here, I made a mistake over here. Cut this part out. This is a mistake. This is correct. Can you all read it? They have first defined what is direct changeover. Okay. Oh. We didn't talk about direct changeover at all, right? I don't think we need to because they had spoken about direct changeover, right? Read the question again. Everybody, didn't the question speak about direct changeover? Because they're giving only 6 marks. So if you go to include that, like really, where are we going to have the space and time for it? Where is it? Not this one. This one. The new software was installed overnight. This is the meaning of direct changeover. At all 4 locations. This is the meaning of direct changeover. So I don't think we need to because they're giving us only 6 marks also. Okay. So examiner hasn't said what to choose from. Normally they'll tell us what to choose from. So I don't think we need to, because here they haven't told us accept indicative content. And you know what indicative means? Something like this. Content should contain something like this. The answer should contain something like this. Anyway, can you all move on to the next one? Pilot changeover is where the new system is put into operation at a single location and tested to see if it works. So we have said this. A pilot changeover would mean that only one cheese making location would have failed. We said that. A phase changeover is where only part of the new system is. We said this. But we mentioned compatibility issues, but they haven't mentioned it, no? They have said a phase changeover could work in the cheese factory if the cheese making process was changed on one day in one location and the milking process changed on another day. We didn't mention this. Instead, what did we mention? We mentioned they might have compatibility issues. Okay, so our answer is slightly different from what the examiner is saying. The examiner is mentioning phase changeover could be done where, for example, cheese production uses the new system and milk uses the old system. And then gradually, milk will also start using the new system. That's the way the examiner has mentioned. We spoke about it slightly differently. Not a problem. Then they spoke about parallel, where both old and new systems are running at the same time. We spoke about it. And here they have said the same thing that we have said. A parallel changeover would not work because the hardware cannot be controlled by two different software programs at the same time. We spoke about production and production cost. They spoke about the hardware and software. Everybody okay with this? We spoke about production and production costs. If they use two systems, they are talking about the hardware cannot be controlled by two different software programs at the same time. Okay, so they are slightly different in their answer. Right, everybody. Now we have read the marking scheme, right? Now let's move on to topic 14, part 2. Topic 14, part 2. Let's have a look at that. I'll open the marking scheme also here. And I told you all I want you all to attempt question number 8 and 9. Question 8, sorry, wrong one. Question 8, where is question 8? Yeah. A taxi company uses an IT system for scheduling and routing taxi journeys in a city. The system receives input from each taxi, the system. Okay, the computing system receives input from each taxi, cameras showing traffic conditions in the city, from GPS, and from staff at the company's offices. Okay, the system receives input from these four sources: taxi, cameras, GPS, and from the staff. Give two pieces of information that the system would need from each taxi. From the taxi, what information do you think would be collected? Everybody? Think about PickMe, think about Uber. What information are we collecting from each taxi? The location of the taxi, the current location of the taxi. The current location of the taxi. The current location of the taxi. Next. The availability of the taxi. Is the taxi on hire or is it available? So you don't say the availability. What will you say? Status of the taxi. Is it hired or is it available? Okay. The status, the operations, the operational status of the taxi. Okay. Is it available or hired? Anything else you can think of? You also need to know the driver, right? Who's driving the taxi? Okay. The driver's ID. Okay. The driver's ID, the driver's name, the driver's details. Taxi registration number, okay. Vehicle registration number or vehicle ID of the taxi. Vehicle ID of the taxi. Okay. Give two pieces of information other than customer name and telephone number that the system would need from the staff taking bookings. So when you guys call Kangaroo Cabs, what else would the staff need from you? Obviously, name and telephone number they would ask you. What else would they ask you? Payment method, how are you going to pay us? Okay, is it cash or card, sir? Okay, payment method would be asked. Payment method, go on. Pickup location, is that all? Exactly. Pickup location / drop off location. Where do we pick you? Where do we drop you? Anything else do you think they would ask for when you call Kangaroo Cabs? What type? What do you mean by what type? What class do you want? Oh, they would ask what class do you want? The number of passengers. Isn't clear? Is it clear? Okay, I'll put both answers. The type of vehicle, but you write, I mean, in your exam, write only one answer. Today we are practicing now, so we'll take down both. The type of vehicle you require and the number of passengers. So either they'll ask the type of vehicle and get you the vehicle you want, or based on the number of passengers, the staff will decide the type of vehicle. Okay? One task of the system, this taxi booking system, okay, this taxi company's IT system, one task is to plan the route that the taxi is going to take from the pickup location to the drop-off location. The system considers several factors in planning the best route for a journey. Give 3 factors that the system should consider. So think about Google Maps. When it comes up with a route, what does it consider? Obviously, traffic conditions. Okay, number 1 it would consider is traffic conditions. Right, next. Sorry? Shortest route. Conditions of the roads. 1 second. How should we take Evan's answer? How do we word it? Give 3 factors the system should consider. I'll keep your answer for some time, okay? Shortest route is like a result, no? What should it consider? What else? What did you say? Road conditions. What do you mean by road conditions? Exactly. Okay, road conditions, okay? Events happening on the road, such as, can you tell this on Google Maps? You can report, right, on Google Maps, you can report road has been closed, police ahead, traffic ahead, or what, parade ahead, or something going on ahead. Okay, then those appear on the map. So drivers are informed to avoid those routes. Okay, events taking place on the road, such as road closure. Something else? Tolls. On Google Maps, can you select this? You can say, right, avoid ferries, avoid tolls. You can tell this to Google Maps. Now, we're not talking about Google Maps. I'm just talking about a system. When you call Kangaroo Cabs and book a taxi to the airport, they tell you, sir, will you be using the highway or not? They ask you that question. Okay. So you can say, how shall we word it? Tolls and highways. Okay. Anything else you can think of? I'll just put shortest route also, and we'll check the marking scheme. Shortest route by distance and shortest route by time. Sometimes the shortest route by distance may not be the shortest route by time. Yeah. So these are the factors it will go through now. Okay, these are the factors it will consider. What is the shortest route by distance? What is the shortest route by time? And then it will choose. Okay, all have seen, right? Sometimes the map gives you 2-3 options. Say this is 2 minutes slower. This is 5 minutes slower. Okay. Is that the end of the question? Yeah, that is the end of the question. Can we check the marking scheme, everybody? So I'll show it on my screen. Question number 8. Question number 8 says, look at my screen. Location. So question number 8A was asking what? Give two pieces of information that the system would need from each taxi. Okay, so what is the information? Location we also mentioned. Status we mentioned. Traffic conditions did we mention? No, we didn't mention traffic conditions. Okay, because traffic conditions we could have mentioned. The taxi ID, the registration number we mentioned. The second question said, give two pieces of information other than the customer name and telephone number that the system would need from the staff to create a booking. What have the marking scheme said? The pickup time, a time we didn't think about. No, we only spoke about location. Yeah, you are. The pickup time we didn't think about at all. Nobody ever mentioned it. Start point we mentioned, end point we mentioned. Look at that, they're giving 2 marks for that. Start point is 1 mark, end point is 1 mark. I thought both of that will be 1 mark. Special requirements, we never thought about that. Isn't it? You need a baby seat, large luggage, I need to put 5-6 suitcases. We never ever thought about that. Number of passengers, we spoke about it. Okay, right, awesome. Then the third question mentioned, the system considers several factors when planning the best route. Give 3 factors. What are the factors the marking scheme has mentioned? Traffic conditions, we mentioned. Traffic regulations, we didn't mention that. Okay, marking scheme is accepting traffic regulations. Certain roads might be one way, certain roads might be what do you call speed limits might be there. Detours that would reduce overall time. Okay. Traffic conditions we mentioned, road works we mentioned, events taking place. So events taking place and road works, you put it as one answer, isn't it? They are taking it as 2 separate answers. What do you mean by events taking place? On Google Maps, you can report what? Accident, road closure, a protest, police ahead. There are so many things you can report on Google Maps. Okay, so these are what they mean by events taking place. Tolls and highways also we mentioned. Okay, right, superb. Okay, we are benefiting from this. Let's keep moving. Right, everybody, question number 9 over here. The delivery company also uses ITS to organize its deliveries. What does ITS stand for? Intelligent Transportation System. Under ITS only you get what? Fleet management and things like this. Each vehicle may deliver to one or more locations. Each vehicle may deliver to one or more locations. The ITS needs to know the total weight of each delivery so that vehicles are not overloaded. Shall we take Daraz as an example? Okay, Daraz might be using an ITS system to plan, to arrange their deliveries for every driver. Okay, we'll take Daraz as an example. So the ITS system needs to know the weight of each package so that delivery vehicles are not overloaded. Okay, right. Discuss what other information the ITS would need in order to organize deliveries. You need to know the size. Okay, because if a vehicle is going to deliver a refrigerator, for example, there isn't many more products that you can put into it, right? Okay, size matters a lot. So I'll put over here, what are the other factors? So I'll mention over here, size of goods. Anything else? Anything else Daraz would need to know to arrange deliveries? They need to know the size. Weight is already taken. Sorry? Delivery locations, they will need to know, obviously. Delivery locations. Delivery location. What else? Payment method. Very nice, thank you. Payment methods. Okay, Vidun, you can take a break now. Others. Thank you. Others, yes. He's answering everything. Come on. Quantity. Why quantity? When a Yavan, look here. As a seller, when I create a product on Daraz, I have to mention the weight of each item. So let's say this is 1 kilo. When a customer orders 3 bottles, the weight will automatically be 3 kilos. So quantity is not important. Okay, because each product will be calculated individually. What else? Delivery location, payment method, size of goods. Delivery location opposite will be pickup location, isn't it? Now, Daraz dispatches their deliveries from so many hubs. Not everything is dispatched from one location. No, they have hubs all over the country. They dispatch it from those hubs. You get it? Dispatching location. Dispatching location. Very good. Only glass you can think of? Something more than that? Daraz, I don't think they have it. Food items. Does it require refrigeration? Does it have to be delivered within 3 days? You get it? There are certain items within 3 days you have to do it. Not within 3 days, within 1 day. You get it? Okay. How shall I put this in my mind map? I'll just say content of goods. Content of goods. And then when I write my answer, I'll explain what I mean by it. Anything else? Yeah, when I write my answer, now I just said content of goods. When I write my answer, I'll explain what I mean by content of goods. Next. Size, delivery, payment methods, dispatching, content of goods. Now the system will automatically arrange deliveries for each driver now. Tell me this. How many deliveries do we put for a driver for a day? The system can arrange deliveries for a driver to make. How many deliveries? Is there going to be a maximum limit, minimum limit? Is it going to be the same for every driver? Is it going to be the same for every driver? Do you all agree with him? It depends on the distances, isn't it? There might be a driver who does only 3 deliveries, but those 3 deliveries might take him 6 hours to do. Another guy might do 25 deliveries, but he can complete all that inside 6 hours because the locations are all so close by him. So what does the system need to know? What are the working hours of every driver, isn't it? The system has to arrange deliveries based on the working hours of every driver. Is it clear? How many hours are they supposed to work every day? So based on the working hours, it will then calculate how many deliveries to assign for that driver. You get it? It needs to know the working hours of every driver. The number of working hours. All right, we'll stop here and we'll start writing our answer. Everyone took this down? The system definitely needs to know the number of working hours so that it properly, uses every driver. Okay, nobody is overloaded and nobody should even be, what's opposite of overloaded? Underloaded, I never heard a word like that. Yeah, so nobody should be overworked and they should also not be underworked. Meaning they should all receive equal amounts of work. Okay? Right, these are enough points, guys. We can talk about 4 of them with an explanation. Okay. Shall we start writing then, everybody? We have taken down our mind map now. Which one shall we write about? We'll take only 4. Everybody will take only 4. We'll explain each and every one of them. Size seems easy to talk about. Delivery location is also very easy to talk about. Payment method is going to be a bit, because what does it matter about payment method? So payment method will avoid. Dispatching of goods, what did I say? Our location of dispatch, no? I'll avoid it for now. Content of goods I can explain. Okay, I can say there might be certain products that might explain. And the number of working hours. I'll go with these 4. Okay? All right, let's start writing, everybody. Let's start writing. So now over here, so we'll give an introduction. Let's first show the examiner we know what ITS stands for. Okay, so we'll just write the full form of it. Okay, an intelligent transportation system would need to know the following in order to efficiently and effectively, okay, effectively arrange deliveries for each vehicle. Okay, so we have shown the examiner. I know what this ITS is all about. Okay, right. We are going to start off with size of the goods. Okay, so that the vehicle will be able to accommodate the orders that it has been assigned. Okay, in addition to the weight, now weight they have already mentioned. Now, in addition to the weight of every order, the system will also need to know the size of every order so that every delivery vehicle will be able to accommodate the order, the packages that have been assigned to it. Okay, in addition to the weight of every order, the system will also need to know the size of every order so that every delivery vehicle will be able to accommodate the packages that have been assigned to it. Want to give any examples? For example, a vehicle delivering a refrigerator may not be able to accommodate many more items, may not be able to accommodate a large quantity of items. Okay, for example, a refrigerator order would be assigned to a large vehicle, to a large delivery vehicle. Okay, right. Next, the system will also need to know the delivery locations, so that it can efficiently, so that it can, what's a good word? So it can arrange efficient delivery. Yeah, so it can arrange, or it can plan, it can arrange efficient delivery routes. Okay, I can't give an example for this, no? The system will also need to know the delivery location. It can arrange efficient delivery routes for the drivers. Okay. I'll just give an example. Orders from customers in a particular street can be all assigned to one driver passing that street. All right, what else are we going to talk about? We also agreed on the content of the goods. Next, the system should also know about the content of every order so that suitable delivery methods can be chosen for every order. For example, orders with items that require cooling, such as medicine or food items, can be assigned to vehicles with a built-in refrigerator. I'll try and keep the next point as short as possible. Our last one is the system also needs to know the number of working hours for every driver so it can assign orders accordingly, I'll say. Okay, I want to keep it as short as possible. Okay. System should also know about drivers' working hours so that it can arrange deliveries that can be fulfilled within each driver's working hours. Okay, we'll stop with that. The system should also know about drivers' working hours so that it can arrange deliveries that can be fulfilled within each driver's working hours. And when you all are done, Disha and all of y'all, can you all have a look at the marking scheme? I'm sure there'll be answers we never thought about. Okay, let's read it, let's understand it. Okay, let's read together. Okay. Guys, online, we're going to look at the marking scheme now. I'm sure there'll be answers we never thought of. Okay, so let's read the marking scheme. Guys, online, I'm moving away from here. The marking scheme says size we mentioned, delivery locations we mentioned, driver hours we mentioned, opening hours at destination we didn't mention that. Opening hours at destination, what does that mean?
So I think that is delivering to office.
Officers and grocery stores and all, no? Yeah. Okay. Specialist vehicle requirements we mentioned. External factors we didn't mention, no? We didn't mention external factors. So they're accepting external factors like, sudden road closures, what do you call road works ahead, peak traffic times. Okay. Right. Anything that we mentioned that the marking scheme doesn't mention? Is there anything like that? Anything that we mentioned that the marking scheme doesn't mention? Not really, no? Nothing like that. Yeah. So once again, there's also nothing new except that, road works we didn't think about, road conditions we didn't think about. Okay. Sometimes you have to manually tell the system that this particular road cannot be used. It has been closed for Independence Day practices, for example. This happens in Sri Lanka, right? Sometimes an entire street is closed because some event is taking place over there. So then you will have to manually inform the system to generate a route avoiding that road. Okay. Range of the that's also a valid point, right? Refueling points for long distance deliveries. We could talk about that as well. Yeah. The system should be able to generate a route where refueling is also mentioned in it. Valid point. Very true. I did never think of that. Everyone heard what he said? You have all of you with me? You heard what he said? The system can also generate a route containing a refueling point. Okay, where they stop for refueling, especially if it's a long distance delivery. Okay, everybody, sounds good then. According to my plan, question 8 was done. Question 9 was also done. Then topic 12, part 3. Topic 12, part 3. So far things are going really well. Okay, topic 12, part 3. But even if I finish all this, still we will not be done. We have some more after that. Topic 12, part 3, question 7. So let me close this. Topic 12, part 3. Everybody, as you all noticed in class, I am giving you all the answers. The amount of learning happening over here is not very high right now because I'm literally giving you, I'm spoon feeding the answers to you all. Thinking on your side is not really happening. Proper thinking will happen and that information will retain in your head when you attempt these questions on your own. When you attempt them on your own, okay, and you're thinking on your own and you're trying to come up with answers on your own, that's when these answers will remain in your head. Okay, so you all must practice these on your own. Okay. Naduli, now only I'm seeing your answer when I had completely missed. I didn't know there was a message. But we mentioned this answer, right? The capacity space of the vehicle. What is the question number I told you all? Topic number 12, part 3. Topic 12, part 3. Question 7. Question 7. Lovely. Did you all see the question there? Topic 12, part 3, question 7. A water company has millions of millions of residential and commercial customers. All customers have smart meters. What do you mean by a smart meter? The meter is connected to the internet, means from a mobile device, you can see how much you have consumed. Okay, like we have smart plugs, you can see how much of electricity has been consumed in that plug. Okay, that track water consumption every 60 seconds. The smart meter transmits the consumption information back to the water company once a day. Okay, at the end of a day, at a particular time, this information is sent back to the water company. Yeah? The performance of the water pumps is monitored constantly. The information collected includes the volume of water pumped every minute, the power consumption, and the intensity of the vibrations caused by each pump. Okay, this information is also collected. Okay, so what do we collect so far? We collect how much of water every customer is consuming. We also collect information about what? The amount of water pumped to the city, how much of power is consumed by these pumps, and we also monitor the intensity of the vibrations. Okay, how intense are those vibrations? Information from automated testing facilities is constantly monitored to ensure the highest levels of water quality. The water company also runs IT systems for accounting, for billing, and employees. The water company recognizes that it's dealing with big data. What are the 5 V's of big data? Volume, velocity. Okay, we'll start with volume, Milu. Is there a large volume of data here? Literally at the beginning, they said millions of residents. Okay, massive volume of data. Next is velocity. Velocity means how fast the data changing. Is it changing? Is there a lot of changes happening? Yes, a lot of changes are happening. Every 60 seconds, at least how much of water is being consumed is being recorded. So velocity is there. The next V is variety. Will we have a variety of data? For now, I can give you all 3 varieties. What are they? The volume of water pumped, the power consumption, the intensity. These are 3 different types of data. Okay, variety is there. Okay. Then we also use it for accounting, for billing, for employees. These will all be in different formats. Some will be structured, some will be semi-structured, some will be unstructured. Okay. The 4th V is veracity. Veracity means veracity is the quality of the information, right? How much can you trust it? How much can you believe it? Is it clear? Veracity is the quality of the data. You will have this problem also over here. And finally is your value. What decisions can you make out of this data? And I mean, how valuable is this data to you? Basically, it means what insights can you derive from this data? Okay. Anyway, the company recognizes it's dealing with big data. Evaluate the advantages and disadvantages for the water company of collecting and using big data. Everybody stop for a quick second here. I want to show you all something. Evaluate, they say. What do you mean by evaluate? Can everyone read this? Can everyone read this? Reviewing information and then bringing it together to form a conclusion. What does evaluate mean? You go through the information and then bring it together to form a conclusion. Drawing on evidence including strengths, weaknesses, alternative actions, relevant data or information. Sounds very confusing. Basically, evaluate means what? You talk about it from different angles, like what are its strengths, what are its weaknesses, what are the other approaches we could use. Okay, and then come to a supported judgment, meaning come to a conclusion. Okay, what can the company do with this data? Okay, so everyone, you all read what relevant means, what evaluate means. We review information from different viewpoints. Okay, we speak about in terms of strengths, weaknesses, what are the other actions we can do, and then we come to a conclusion. Okay, right. So I just wanted to show this to you all. Now, how shall we get started? Let's do our mind map. How many marks, guys? They're giving you 12 marks. Okay. So advantages, disadvantages for the company of collecting and using big data. So what could be their advantages and disadvantages? What do you think? Shall we start with simple ones? What about their maintenance costs? What about their infrastructure? They would require networks that support they would require networks, so they would require infrastructure that can store all this data, right? They would need large amounts of storage. They would also need a network that would be able to transmit this data quickly. Okay, so I'll just mention in my mind map infrastructure. One second, guys, small problem here. Okay, so in terms of, I'll put positive over here, positives over here. Costly infrastructure, I'll just say costly infrastructure. Oh, sorry, it's a negative, no? It's a negative. Costly infrastructure. Okay, anything else? So under infrastructure, we need bandwidth. Okay. Storage. Processing power. Then guys, is it what do you call? You're collecting massive data about people's water usage. So any privacy concerns? Privacy concerns could come up, vulnerable to hacking. Okay, privacy concerns, and I'll also mention vulnerable to hacking. One second. No, you're storing customers' data, right? How much of water they have used. Is it possible for a database to get hacked? That possible is there. Vulnerable to cyber attacks. Vulnerable to cyber attacks. What did you say, Vidun? So what's your point? Dependent on Wi-Fi. Give me some positives, Vilu.
So you don't need a person to go around empty house and check the meters. You can get the amount of water used without them send someone to go check the meter manually.
Valid point, no? Valid point. Automated bill generation. Save on labor cost. Much more accurate. But did you explain how is it more accurate? Very good. Much more accurate. No human error. Everybody, I didn't give you a break now. You all take your break now and come back. Everybody, you all come back at 11 o'clock. Okay. We'll have 13 minutes. Okay. You all take your break. When you'll come back, we'll continue this. Okay. Right, guys. I'll see you all in 13 minutes. Have a nice break, all of you all. Okay, so I can say, for example, over here, opening / shifting and closing of pumps can be decided can be decided from collected data. You get it? Okay. If they, by looking at the data, they can decide whether to, what do you call, sorry, what would be the best place to open a new pump, or which pump should we close because usage is extremely poor, okay, or where can we shift the pump to a better place where consumption is high, okay, so they can make the decision from their collected data. Anything else we can talk about?
Indicate whether it should be the pipe burst. You can locate where the pipe is bursting because all the meters will already closed.
Yeah.
Going on from one pump stage to each one, going on meter.
Okay. Okay. So we call those anomalies or issues in the water system. Issues in the water system. Water system can be monitored centrally, Anything else we can talk about over here? Anything else we can talk about over here? We can also talk about can lead to unemployment as a negative. Okay, can lead to unemployment. Can lead to unemployment. Okay, anything else you can talk about? Anything else we can talk about? So infrastructure, we spoke about high installation cost will be involved, has to be always be connected to the internet. Okay, we spoke about those automated bills, much more accurate. Okay, you're making data, you're making decision based on, you're making informed decisions. Okay, what else can you do here?
You can update the software all pumps at once.
Those are all benefits of client to server, right? We're talking about big data over here. So then guys, you can identify the ideal times for your pumps to operate without you running them all the time. After some time, you can figure out people's water usage, right? Generally, you would say, you know what, daytime in these cities or in these areas, water usage is very low because people are going out to work. And then these areas, water usage is going up because these are all commercial areas. People are now working from these areas. So now you can, after some time, after a year or two, you will understand how to power these pumps, when to switch them off, when to off them, because you know how water consumption is. And then, for example, you know on weekends how consumption is happening. You know on weekdays how consumption is happening. On holidays how consumption is happening. So now you have an understanding of how to operate the water pumps. So you don't just keep them running all the time. You get them to run at times only when there is a demand for water. Okay, so I'll just note down another benefit. Okay, pumps can be optimized. Pumps can be optimized. Can be optimized to do what? To operate at peak hours only. To operate at peak hours only. Something else? From the data that you collect, can you create awareness of how much of water wastage is taking place? Or can you minimize water wastage? Everybody? Don't you think you will have data to encourage people to minimize water wastage? You know how much of water is being used. Okay. You can display these numbers and encourage people to reduce it every month. When you show the numbers to people of how it's going down or how it's going up, you can encourage people to reduce water wastage. Okay. Can lead, sorry, it's a positive now. can encourage water, sorry, can lead to less water wastage. Okay, we'll start writing our answer now, everybody. So everybody will start writing our answer. There is no need for it to be balanced as such. You choose the points that you can talk about. Okay, so everybody will start with the installation part. Okay, the installation and the maintenance part, we'll start with that. Okay, so everybody get down your mind map. Okay, so we'll start writing our answer now. Okay, we will start writing our answer now. And then over here, what we will say is, so let's get started. Evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of water company of collecting and using big data. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, how shall we get started, guys? Collecting of this big data or collecting of big data would require collecting of big data. Collecting of big data would require a proper setup and infrastructure to be maintained. The cost of setting up smart meters, okay? The cost of setting up smart meters, smart pumps, okay? The cost of setting up smart meters, smart pumps, the infrastructure of networks and storage could be very costly. Okay, problem number one, could be very costly, and this cost would have to be borne. You know what borne means, right? We'll have to ask it from the customers, right? Would have to be borne by customers. Okay, and this cost would have to be borne by customers, and this cost would have to be borne by customers, which can lead, one second, and this cost would have to be borne by customers. Okay, we'll stop there. And this cost would have to be borne by customers. Further, the maintenance of a system to collect big data, further the maintenance of a system to collect this big data could also be very costly, since skilled workers will be required. Okay, since skilled workers will be required, networks with high bandwidth, okay, and servers, since skilled workers will be required, networks with high bandwidth and servers with high processing power will also be required. Okay, so we have started off with two disadvantages, saying, look, the startup cost and maintenance is going to be very expensive. Okay. However, once this system is done, we'll start talking about the benefits that the company can enjoy. Not only the company can enjoy. However, once the system to collect big data has been put into place, there are many benefits. There are many benefits that the company can enjoy. Okay, there are many benefits that the company can enjoy. So now from our mind map, guys, I'm spoon feeding answers over here. There's hardly any thinking going on in your brains, okay? You are just noting down an answer. Please do make sure you all attempt this. At least you all read this again on your own. Okay, and try to understand it. So everybody, we're running out of time also. There are many benefits the company can enjoy. We can start off with the automated bill generation process. There are many benefits that the company can enjoy. Firstly, this smart system would be able to automatically generate e-bills for customers based on their water usage. This would allow the company to save on labor costs as well as human error in preparing customer bills. Okay, two advantages I pushed into one. Labor cost you're saving on, also human error you're saving on. Not you're saving, you're minimizing. As well as minimize human error in preparing customer bills. Okay. Everybody, before a problem comes up, in most cases, can a smart system warn you about it? Isn't it? Now, for example, in Sri Lanka, not only in Sri Lanka, in many parts of the world, the water lines are running underneath the roads. Isn't it? They are running underneath. So when there is a leak, you really don't know about it. You only get to know about it when you get a massive water bill. Or, for example, now no water is appearing to customers' lines at all. That's when you know something is wrong. That's when you start digging up. You get it? But if you have a smart system that's continuously monitoring the lines, before the leak gets out of control, you can deal with it, right? You can see there is a huge, what do you call, the water usage is increasing on a daily basis. But the customer meters are showing the same values, which means water going out and water going out is high, but water usage is remaining the same, which means a leak is happening somewhere. You can then start digging deep into it. Okay, you don't wait. Now, in Sri Lanka, we don't have a smart system. After the problem occurs, then we start digging various places to see where the leak is happening. But with a smart system, before the leak gets out of control, you can start checking where the leak is taking place. Everybody okay with this? So shall we talk about this also then? Okay, next, the smart system would also allow the water company to detect issues in water supply before they get out of control. Okay, meaning, or you can say, for example, a water leak can be detected as soon as it occurs and the location it's happening at can be narrowed down using the smart system. would also allow the water to take before they get out of control. For example, a water can. Okay. Okay, so issues can be detected before they get out of control. Let's mention one more. The generated data can be used to optimize the usage of pumps. Okay, after a year or two, you will know customers' water patterns now. At what time of the day, on which days is water being consumed the most? Which days is it being consumed the least? So now accordingly, you start powering your pumps. You don't keep them running the whole day. Now you have understood customers' water habits. Okay. Further, this system will also be able to generate insights into customers' water usage patterns. Okay. For example, it may show that during weekday mornings, during weekdays working hours, residential areas have a low water usage. Based on this information, the water company can either switch off their water pumps or put their water pumps into low power mode, helping them save a lot on power consumption. Okay, can either switch off their water pumps or put their pumps into low power mode, helping them save a lot on electricity consumption. Okay. Okay, so that's enough with advantages. Let's now talk about some disadvantages. We can talk about, now we have already spoken about the costly infrastructure. We can also talk about leading to unemployment, vulnerable to cyber attacks, and then we'll go for a conclusion. Okay, so our conclusion will basically be a summary. Yes, awesome system can bring about a lot of ease to the company. However, you are risking what? And however, the customers are going to have to pay a significantly high amount. Okay, and also another problem we have is your startup cost. Okay, I don't think we can do the conclusion today, but let's talk about one more disadvantage. It's important to remember, you can say, this smart system can automate many processes which are normally done by humans, such as billing, which we mentioned earlier, but this can lead to high unemployment. However, this can lead to high unemployment high unemployment, but this can lead to high unemployment and also when they ask about the I didn't get you. Tell again. You want to talk separately about the company? That's also good. Yeah, no, everybody, they're asking for the water company, for the water company, isn't it? So what will the company care about unemployment? Isn't it? That's very true. Everybody, this is the thing, man. Even we are asking specifically for the water company. Their concern is only the company, not about the people. Is it clear now? Again, we have to go through our answer. Is all our answers supporting the company? I mean, is all our answers towards the company? If we could just change this, and this cost, the cost of setting up smart meters, smart pumps, infra could be very costly. Shall we just stop at this costly? This talking about customers, will remove it. Or you can say, and this cost would have to be borne by customers, which can lead to customer dissatisfaction. Okay, if you all can put that, which can lead to customer dissatisfaction. Okay, okay, this is about the company. Now the benefits are all directly related to the company now. Yeah, so we are okay. Luckily, we are okay. Everybody, luckily we are okay. So then everybody, can we cancel this and talk about the security vulnerabilities? And we'll stop with that and jump to a conclusion. Okay. Since this smart system will be collecting large volumes of water usage, the company will have to be very careful, about cyber attacks that can lead to them losing all their collected data. Cyber attacks that can lead to them losing all their collected data. And now everybody, let's go for a conclusion. One second, everybody, what do they say here? So what were the advantages, guys? They can save on labor costs. They can make decisions that can save money for them. Okay. In conclusion, implementing a system to collect big data will initially be a very big cost for the company, will be a very big cost for the water company. Okay. However, as the years go along, however, on the long run, we'll say, on the long run, the data generated by this system can help the company save a lot, especially on labor costs and power consumption of water pumps. Okay, so this is the conclusion that we came with. Okay, everybody, guys online, give me a second. Guys online, guys online, guys online, do not go away. I forgot to take your attendance. Okay, guys, everybody, we can make a move then. Until we meet tomorrow for our practicals, we continue with our database past paper.